Let's talk about mom guilt and let's talk about getting rid of mom guilt. It's such a big problem and so common among mothers. So, I'd love to be able to help you alleviate and show mom guilt the door. So, let's talk first about what mom guilt is. It's a common feeling for mothers, and if they're working or at the gym or meditating or essentially doing anything other than being with their children, it evokes a deep feeling of regret or remorse or sorrow, obligation, responsibility, and other negative feelings. And it's a heavy burden. It really weighs down, it's heavy on our conscience. And it's the type of thing that comes again and again. And I've learned, I have been a working mother, and I learned to unravel it and to get rid of it. And it really takes so much weight off because it's such a distraction when it's in our environment and when it's in our minds. So I'm Dr. Ellen, and I'm going to share 3 keys to help you get rid of mom guilt. The first point that I want to make is that there's no benefit, there's no good or positive outcome for having mom guilt. No good reason to keep it going. It's just a weight, it's a stress, it's a burden. It's common, but there's no reason we should keep it. And as busy mothers, we have a heavy plate as it is. We're busy with work, with home, with kids, family, maybe some community activities. And what mom guilt does, it is that it adds a side dish on our already heavy plate, and it weighs that plate down even further. And so I think it would really be wonderful if, as mothers, we can all learn to lift mom guilt and send it on its way. So again, mom guilt doesn't solve any problems, and it really just creates an additional burden and stress that we carry with us. No reason to keep it with us. So where does it come from and why is it there? And I think the fundamental basis for mom guilt is that somehow we really feel we should be with our children all the time. But here are the facts, and here's what the research shows. You don't have to be with your child 100% of the time, every second of every minute of every hour, to be a great, fabulous, fantastic mother. The research showed that kids who are in daycare and school have access to experiences with other kids and other people, and that it helps them grow their social skills. It helps develop their communication skills. So there are a lot of things that they learn by being in an environment around a lot of other people that they wouldn't necessarily get if they were sitting at home. One of my clients also mentioned that she's an introvert and her child's teacher is very extroverted. And she felt that it was an advantage for her child to be around people with different personalities. She valued that and felt it was an advantage for her child. So again, you don't have to be with your child 100%. There's no rule that says you have to do that to be a great mother. And also, if you're working outside the home or with activities that impact outside the home, you serve as a role model for your child of a working person, of somebody with a work ethic who takes on responsibilities. And you probably help other people. You may provide services out in the world. So you do an important function. And in addition, to a lot of mothers, their work is part of their identity. they feel that their work is important, and it is important work. And we as mothers should feel that we can grow and become the people that we are without that sense of guilt weighing us down. We are people, we have priorities, we have goals, and they should be allowed to be part of our expression and of who we are and how we function. We shouldn't have to apologize for that. There's no guilt for that. We are who we are, and we need to live and become who we want to be. And again, that doesn't take 100% of our time to be sitting next to a child. We love our children as much, even if we don't spend every single second of every day. So again, there are a lot of benefits for your child, even if you're not home all the time. And we talked about being a role model. Certainly, if you work in the outside world, you probably bring home an income. And that probably helps elevate and increase the standard of living at your home. So there's no apology needed for that. You shouldn't have to have any guilt for that. You should feel proud of yourself, and you should feel motivated and uplifted that you can do that and that you do that. Again, no apologies necessary. And next, a lot of mothers feel guilty when they're taking me time. But if you think about it, as mothers, we spend a lot of time serving and helping other people. And if our own energy tanks are empty and depleted, it's really hard for us to help and fill other people's tanks without our own tank being full. So it's important for us to do me time activities. It's not a luxury, it's not something extra. It's really important, because if we don't do that, we end up depleted, and that can lead to feeling frustrated or resentful or tired or even exhausted. It could even lead to burnout. So there should be no apology needed for taking me time, no guilt for me time. It's part of what we need. It's part of what we are as humans who work very hard, as human beings who work very hard. Me time, energy time, reinvigoration time, it's all important. It's important to keep us hale and whole and functional. And when, for example, if you're working on a report, if you're at work and you're working on a report and you want to be able to devote that time to work on the report, you don't want to share that time with mom guilt. You don't want to be mom guilting when on your calendar you have that you're going to be working on a report. You want your mind to be clear, and you want your attention focused on the report. You don't want your attention focused on feeling guilty, which has nothing to do with the report, and it takes your attention away. So again, there are a lot of reasons why you should feel free to let mom guilt go and to find ways to help you do that. And I'm happy to do that to help you. So here are 3 keys to start with that might help you. And one is just being aware that there's nothing good about mom guilt. There's no positive outcome, no positive result for us to maintain and sustain mom guilt. It doesn't serve us. It doesn't serve our family. The best thing we can do is let it go. And by being aware of that, sometimes that helps people open the door and let it exit, let it out. So let's move on to number 2 in case you do need number 2. And I do know a lot of moms need number 2 as well. So number 2 is create boundaries and borders that can help protect your time and your focus and your attention. So with the example of the report that you're doing for work, if you're scheduling on your calendar to work on a report from, let's say, 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, you want to maintain your energy on that task at hand. You don't want to be double scheduling. You don't want to be working on that and mom guilting at the same time. And so try to maintain your boundaries and your borders on your task at hand. And hopefully that will help send mom guilt on its way. And the third recommendation, the third strategy that I'm going to share with you is think about you. What's important to you? What are your goals? What are your priorities? What are the things that are important to you? And it's important to keep that in your mind. We all very often have a to-do list and we have priorities. And as mothers, we very often demote our own priorities and we keep it lowest on the to-do list. And again, that can end up with us feeling a sense of frustration and resentment, of losing out, of feeling tired, of losing energy. And again, it could lead to burnout. So we want to be respectful. We're always respectful of people around us. And I say it's important to be respectful of ourselves. And part of that is really letting go of mom guilt, which just places stress and a burden on us. Again, it weighs us down, and it's the gift that keeps coming unless we take control and try to get rid of it. So mom guilt is the type of challenge that doesn't always go away immediately. You can watch a video, even this video, and I wish I can tell you that like magic, you can watch this and mom guilt will fly away immediately. But I can't promise that. I think you might want to watch this again, and you might want to write down the strategies that you're using so you can remember what you're doing. And for some people, even the strategies that I gave may help somewhat, but may not totally alleviate the problem. And I'm really dedicated to helping mothers. So if this is a challenge for you, I do invite you. I will try to put the link to my calendar in the comments. And I invite you, if you need help with this, to reach out for a phone call with me or send me an email. My email is ellenwillhelp@gmail.com. I tried to make it something easy to remember. And hopefully we can work together if that's something you'd like to do. And sometimes what I do is customize some of the strategies to really help you fit it in and make it click. So if I can be of help to you, let me know. If you found this video helpful, and I hope it's an important topic and something that you're finding helpful, I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. One is hit the like button. And 2 is I'm really very dedicated and devoted to helping moms get rid of mom guilt. So I'm going to ask you, if you know any mothers who could benefit from this video, to please share it with other moms. This is the type of topic that I work with a lot of my clients on. I've done workshops on it, and I've made presentations at groups. So again, if this is important and helpful to you, please share it with other mothers who you feel can benefit as well. And the third activity that I'd like you to do is just basically hit subscribe so that when I come out with other videos, you can benefit and you'll know when I have other topics and videos available. And if you have any suggestions for topics, feel free to email them to me again at ellenwillhelp@gmail.com. I will be back next week. I'm here every week at the same time. So I'll be back next week with another topic. Maybe it'll be a topic that you email and suggest to me. And I am looking forward to being back here with a new topic next week. Until then, be strong, be empowered, and let's talk again soon.